Hey guys, it's Katelyn. Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Since it is the new year, I thought I would do the 26 books I'd like to read in 2026, and this one will be a fantasy romance theme. Romantasy is my favorite genre to read from, and so I thought it was only fitting to do a video with 26 books I'd like to read this year. I know this is a very long list and almost all of these are the start of a series, so I will try my best to read all of these this year, but again, this is just kind of like the list that's on my mind right now and ones that I really like to prioritize. I did stick to just my physical TBR. I have so many romantasy books on my radar, so I definitely have a long list of other romantasy books I'd like to get to, but again, this year I am trying to prioritize my physical TBR. So without further ado, let's get into the 26 fantasy romance books I'd like to read in 2026. This first book is one that I actually started last year, but 2025 I had a huge reading slump, but I can officially say it's over, which is the best feeling. But I did start this one before my reading slump kicked in. I was absolutely loving it so far, so I cannot wait to continue. It is Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. We follow our main character who is a princess who has run away and started her own kingdom in secret in hopes to one day get revenge against her father who stole her 5 dragons from her. She enlists the help of a commander of an enemy kingdom because they both have goals that they really want to accomplish, but they both know they need each other's help to do so. This book has reluctant allies, royalty, dragons, enemies to lovers, and I was absolutely loving this book. It definitely reminded me of how I felt when I first started reading Throne of Glass, and it brought me back to why I love fantasy romance. So I cannot wait to continue with this one and then read the sequel because I've heard the ending of the sequel is amazing, and so I can't wait to get to that one too. And the map for Fear the Flames is absolutely gorgeous. US hardcover actually has a colored map on the front end pages, and it is absolutely beautiful. I love following along that map while I'm reading it. This next book is also another one that I did start reading before my reading slump started last year, and that is Meadow Slinger by Rachel Schneider. This is so amazing. I love her writing style so much. Our main character lives at sea, and it is her dream to attend the market that is hosted on land, something that every young guard dreams of. But this is actually hosted by the people who have exiled her and her people to live above the sea. She doesn't expect to put a century-long treaty in jeopardy. And so she is all of a sudden shown this world of magic that she didn't expect. She is realizing these secrets and things that she was taught might not be actually the truth. And so it's a huge adventure story, a really great romance, and I really cannot wait to see where the story continues. And I believe it's just a duology. And the sequel comes out in a few months from now, I believe. So I definitely think I'll wait to read this until then, and then I can jump into the sequel because, like I said before, I was absolutely loving this so far. I think I got to page 130 and I was absolutely loving it, and I cannot wait to see where the story goes. Next one is the first book in a 4-book epic romantasy series, and that is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. And in this world, it has been taken over by the gods and it is ruled by their cruel offsprings, the Descended. Our main character's mother suddenly disappears, and this unlocks a huge secret about her past, and this leads her to enter the dark and intense world of the Descended royalty. There is a war growing, and every move that she makes is being watched by the dying king's heir. And this just sounds so amazing, so intense. I feel like the romance is going to be amazing. Definitely a lot of power and political intrigue, and I can't wait to start this one. And this edition is beautiful. It's from the Arcane Society, and these are some of the character art prints, and they're just so beautiful. And then this one has a colored map in the front, and I will for sure be following this map while I'm reading the book. This next book is the start of a series, again, that I've heard nothing but amazing things for. And that is Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Warwick. I think is how you say her last name. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Her main character in this one is an assassin, and her and her 2 sisters have been trained from when they were kids to be ruthless assassins. But then one day she is taken by this noble family and she's given a choice. She takes this assignment, then she is granted a wish, and she is then able to get revenge against the Fae Prince who killed her mother. Enemies to lovers, an adventure, romantasy. It has a lot of secrets, mystery, magic, and I feel like I'm gonna love this. Again, I love when the main character is an assassin. And this is the gorgeous bookish box edition and the beautiful character art. There is also a map in the front. Using a map while you're reading a fantasy book is just the most immersive thing, and I love it so much. So I'm definitely going to be showing all the maps if these books have them in this video. Then this next book is the first in an epic fantasy romance series, and I believe this one also has a spin-off series that everyone has been talking about recently, and that is Blood and Steel by Helen Schuer. And this is one I cannot wait to get to. This one follows our main character whose dream is to become a warrior legend, but women are not allowed to train to be a warrior. And so she does this in secret, and she has 3 years to make this dream come true. Evil is looming and secrets come to light as she is trying to survive the initiation test. And things get even more complicated when she starts to develop feelings for her warrior chaperone, and I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to reading this so much. I'm not sure how many books are in this series. I want to say there's almost 5 or 6, I believe. And there's also a spin-off series. There's a few books out in it already, so I definitely want to read this one first, and then I will definitely get to the spin-off one. Hopefully I'll get to that one this year as well, but again, this list is quite long, so we'll see how much reading I can get done this year. And I almost forgot to show the map in Blood and Steel, but here is that one in the front, and again, I love indie paperbacks so much, so I definitely want to make sure I get all of these to match. This next book is one that I actually ordered quite recently, and that is Empire of Flame and Thorns by Marion Blackwood. I literally have heard nothing but raving reviews for this book, and I am so excited to get to it. Our main character is trapped in the Sealy Court, and the only way to survive is to be one of the last 3 standing in the trial, but the dragon commander will stop at nothing to make sure she doesn't complete her goal. She does have to keep it a secret that she is part of the Fae Rebellion. I just can't wait to see their romance and her story, and I'm just so excited to get to this. I feel like I have this on such a high pedestal because I've literally only heard 5-star reviews for this one, and it is getting traditionally published now, which is very exciting. And then here is the Sealy Court in the beginning of this book. This book is another one that was picked up by publisher last year, and that is Direbound by Sable Sorensen. This is the gorgeous Waterstones edition, and I believe this one has a map as well in the front there. In this one, our main character's sister is kidnapped, and she needs to enlist the help of the army to be able to save her, but she does not realize that this year is the year that the bonding trials happens, which is where you mentally bond to a direwolf. And this is something that she has never wanted to do, and she does not expect this to be the year that they're doing it when she is trying to help her sister. But this is her only chance of her to be able to save her sister, but she has to survive 4 months of this very intense and grueling training, and everyone is out to get her. Everyone has a secret and a secret agenda, except the prince. He's the only one that doesn't want to see her fail. She does have to balance between trying to save her sister, but also making sure she stays alive during these 4 months, and also if the prince has a secret agenda. The next one is called The Lies of Lena by Kylie Snow. Another one I feel like I keep repeating myself, I keep hearing a lot about. And this one I've heard is a very dark fantasy romance. And we follow our main character, who is a mage, but she has to keep this a secret because this is a very deadly thing if people find out. But then when a job unexpectedly goes wrong, she is saved and then trained by a swordsman, but she knows she cannot reveal her true powers because that is very dangerous. But as time goes on, she does want to share her powers, but unexpectedly she is taken away from him, and she does not expect to see him ever again. But then years later they do reunite, but he is definitely not the same person that she once knew. I did write little notes for all the books just so I kind of knew what the synopsis was, because I don't like to get spoiled too much on the books, but I wrote so many that I'm kind of getting them mixed up a little bit, so I might have to read some of them off the paper. But it says, Lena is captured by the kingdom's heir, who is seeking revenge on the mages, and everyone's fate rests on her shoulders. And I've heard this one is very dark, it's very intense, and I'm so looking forward to reading this one. And there is the map in the front of the book there. And I'm not sure if this series is complete or not. I know there's 2 books out, maybe 3, but I know there's a couple novellas in between there as well. But this is one that I definitely want to prioritize very soon. The next book is another dragon fantasy romance. That is one of my favorite things in a book, is dragons. And this one is On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin, and this is the Waterstones exclusive edition. Our main character is half fae in an academy full of vampires, and she is told that she is the last dragon rider and there are no dragons left. This doesn't stop the vampires from taking her because they still see her as a threat, and this academy is very brutal. She is trying to survive the battlefield. She is betrothed to a vampire, which does make this a lot more complicated. I feel like this is going to be so amazing. I know there's a couple of books out in this series, and I cannot wait to finally read this one. This next one is one that everyone has been talking about the sequel recently, and it's one that I definitely want to get to so I understand the hype, and that is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. So we follow our main character, who is keeping her powers hidden in a desert land, and then all of a sudden she opens up a portal to a realm of ice and snow. And when she gets transported here, she realizes that Fae are real and not just a myth like she was told, but she also does not expect to also walk into a centuries-long conflict. And this is when Kingfisher, the Fae warrior, comes in, which everyone always talks about him and loves him, and she accidentally binds herself to him, but she does not realize this, but he will use her powers to protect his people at all costs. And I just am so looking forward to getting to this one. I'm not sure how many books are going to be in this series, but again, everyone raves about it, so I definitely need to prioritize this one this year. This next series is one that I actually did start quite a while ago. I read the first, I want to say 50 pages of the first book, but again, my reading was not doing good last year, so I am so excited to finally get back into reading this year. And so that one is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. And before I get into the synopsis for this one, I just need to show you the new hardbacks for these ones. Like, they are stunning. I love character art so much. And there's also a map in the front, which I will show you guys. Here is the map for this one. Our main character in this book is a warrior princess, and she has been trained in isolation her entire life, and she is the one that's going to bring the enemy king to his knees. And so she is brought to this other kingdom under the guise of peace as the bride, but the longer that she is there, she realizes that she might not have been told the whole truth growing up, and now she doesn't understand if she is the hero or the villain now. As her feelings for her husband grow stronger, she has to decide which kingdom she's willing to save and which one she's going to destroy. And I am just so excited to get to this one. I believe these are all interconnected duologies in the same world because I'm pretty sure the first 2 books follow this couple. I love reading long series, so I can't wait to read this one. I have another indie paperback, and that is Daughter of the Drowned Empire by Frankie Diane Malice. And this is one I've had on my radar for years. This one has a map, it has some character art in the front as well. And this one sounds so interesting. In this world, the Emperor is the only one who is allowed to decide which powers and magic can be practiced, and practicing the ones that aren't allowed are forbidden. And our main character has to participate in a ceremony that will reveal her powers. She does have a forbidden magic. And the only way that our main character is able to survive is that she has to train for 7 long months and prove that she can pass this test without any magic. And this does get even more complicated when she has to train with the man that she has loved for years, and he's also on exile himself. So I feel like it's going to be a very emotional, very intense, and brutal world, and I'm really excited to read this series. I think there are 5 books out in it so far. I'm not sure if it's complete, but the last book just came out in December, so I definitely want to get to this one very soon. The next one is called We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark. This is the gorgeous Fairy Loot edition. I am obsessed, and the character art in the front of this book, they are stunning. I am so excited to get to this one. I've been hearing such amazing reviews for it, and the premise just sounds so fascinating. Our main character's goal is to kill the Emperor, but the only way to do this is to enter the elite guard. But also then to get there, she has to compete in a battle against the most ruthless, strong people who also want to be in the guard as well. And I want to say this one might have a love triangle. I'm not quite sure because there is a man who broke her heart years ago who also is in the competition, but also the Emperor's son. And so I'm not quite sure if there's going to be a love triangle. If it's done well, I do really love a love triangle, so looking forward to that. And the Emperor's son is the only one who knows the secrets behind her power, but she knows she does have to be allies with both of them if she's able to make it out of this competition alive. This one's gonna be really fun, and I'm really excited to start a new series and then read the books as they are published. This next one is another Fairy Loot edition, and that is Wind Reaver by Julie Johnson. I was hearing a lot about this one last year, and in this world, our main character is a halfling, and normally they are executed on sight. But during her execution, she is saved by a commander from the Northlands. And the further that she travels with this commander, the more she realizes that what she has been told has been a lie. And she is not just any ordinary halfling, she is one of the 4 souls that have been scattered across this world that can restore the balance of power, or she can die trying. I'm very much looking forward to reading this one. This one has the map in the front with a little key on the side. And I just think this is such a beautiful book with amazing character art. I think it might be a duology, I'm not quite sure, but I think the next one comes out this July, so I'll probably try to read it during the summertime. This next one is the Book of Azrael, again another one I've been seeing a lot of talk about on BookTube especially, and I believe there's 4 books out, and this is the new deluxe hardcover edition, and there are dragons in this world. There's our main character, and then we also have character in the back. I just think this character is so beautiful. To save her sister, our main character has made a deal with someone worse than a nightmare, and she has to hunt down an ancient relic only the most dangerous enemy holds. And then I think we also get the perspective of the male main character in this book as well. Our male main character has gone in hiding after the war, and that is the last thing he wants to do is return, but these two both have to work together to both accomplish their goals. And I really don't want to know too much else about it. I just heard amazing things, and I'm really looking forward to it, and again, I love a book with dragons in it. This next one is more of a dystopian romance, which I'm so excited to see more buzz about dystopian romance coming back. Especially, there's one called, I think, Daggermouth. I believe I'll put a picture on the screen, but that one I can't wait to get to as well. I've been hearing nonstop raving reviews for it, but this one is also a dystopian romance I cannot wait to get to. That is To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. In this world, if you break the law, you are then sent into a prison and hunted for sport. And so our main character's brother does go in here, and she knows that she does have to break the law so she can also go into the prison to save her brother. And something she does not expect is to fall for one of the guards. And I just think this sounds so amazing. I can't wait to get to it. I think the character in this one, again, is so beautiful. It's one that I've been hearing amazing things for, and I am just very excited to get to this one. I have a lot of Fairy Loot editions, but the next one is also a Fairy Loot one. It's Heavenly Bodies. This edition is so beautiful. I love the color scheme, and they are just so cute in the front there. And there is also a very pretty map as well. The main character is cursed by fate, and she is told that she will fall for a star, but then this will kill them both. But then she is all of a sudden kidnapped by the enemy kingdom, and she is given a choice either to train with them to defeat the stars or just to accept her fate. But like every kingdom, they all have their own secrets, and so she has to decide what is best for her, and the decision that she makes will definitely alter her life. I've heard this one is very romance heavy, which I'm very excited for, and the sequel is also out, so if I do enjoy this one, I definitely can just read the second one right away, which is amazing. I think it might be a trilogy, and on the back it says, "I would turn the world to darkness for you." I love romantic quotes. I just think it's so sweet, and it makes me so much more excited to read the book. This next one is one that I have not heard anyone talk about, called The Gale by Lo Mayer. I'm not sure if the second one has a release date quite yet, so hopefully pretty soon. But in this world, this kingdom has survived in these walls after the nuclear war, and our main character has a secret in that she is the heir to the kingdom, but no one knows this. But before she is able to share this, she is captured by their mortal enemy. But while she is at this other kingdom, and the more time she spends there, she realizes that she might have been told lies her whole life, and the evil might actually be within her own kingdom and not this one that she's been told has always been the enemy. I just love the sound of this book. It just sounds so interesting and something like I haven't read before. I definitely want to make reading vlogs a staple on my channel, so whenever I read any of these or any other books, I'll definitely include them in reading vlogs and give you guys more of my thoughts on them as I'm reading them, and even more of a summary, because I just don't want to get spoiled too much when I was reading these. So I'm trying to keep the summaries short, but also kind of give you an idea if you are interested what they're about. This next one is A Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. Again, this one was being talked about non-stop last year, and our main character is a princess, and she is told just to wear the crown, obey the king, and nothing else. And she is definitely tired of people telling her what to do, kind of just what role she should play, and she does not expect one day to seal an ancient treaty and a prince to arrive on her doorstep and take her with him. And she didn't sign up for this for her future, and so I'm just very interested to see how she's going to navigate this. I'm just really looking forward to it because I've heard amazing things about this, and this is the Waterstones edition. I'm not sure if there is a map in this one, but let me check. Yes, there is. If I could just get all these maps printed and like have a wall in my book room just with maps for fantasy worlds, I would be so happy. I think that'd be really pretty, and maybe like some candles or like little lamps in the wall. I think that'd be so much fun to do. Maybe in the future in my dream library, I will make that happen. This next one is Flame and Sparrow by S.M. Gaither. This is a bookish box edition. It is so stunning, and I will show you the character art that it came with. This one is a part of a duology. The main character is joined by a group that is going to help her seek revenge against the gods who have taken her sister. All of a sudden, an opportunity arises where the kingdom is searching for people who help be at their side, and she knows that this is her one opportunity to get information in the kingdom. She knows that this is her one chance. She must do whatever she can to get a spot in the kingdom. And I think there's gonna be a lot of political intrigue, a lot of intense action, a lot of secrets, definitely unknown magic, but she doesn't realize that while she's trying to accomplish this, that one of her obstacles would be the god of fire. And the more she learns about him, the more she is questioning what she has been told about the gods and the mortals. And I am just looking forward to this one a lot. I've had this on my shelves for quite some time, so I definitely want to get to it this year. It's also actually a bookish box edition, and that is Until the Stars Fall, and it's just so stunning. On the back it says, "Until the stars fall, live for you and you alone." And this has been one I've been so excited to get to. There's beautiful character art in the front there, and the map is so beautiful. Like, they are just so cute. I feel like this is going to be such a beautiful romance, and I cannot wait to get to it. There's one tagline that I saw that I really wanted to include. It said, "He's found his soulmate, she's in love with his brother." I don't know if it's a love triangle or what. To secure an alliance and to avoid war, this kingdom knows that they have to marry a fae princess. So the prince knows that she is his mate, and she learns that if the second son weds, one of the royal brothers will die. And I feel like this is gonna be very intense. When I was reading the synopsis for this one, I have so many questions, and especially writing down mini summaries for all of these books, I feel like I want to read all of them right now, which isn't possible, but I just want to read all these books. I'm so excited. This just reminded me why I love fantasy romance. Reading the synopsis for all these books is making me so excited to read all of them, but it's making it, again, really hard to know which one I should start with. If you have a favorite or one that you'd like to hear my thoughts for it, definitely let me know in the comments, because I don't know which ones to start with. There's so many amazing choices. The next one is from two authors that I've been hearing about for years, and I can't lie, I've been intimidated by their one really popular series because it's so long, but I do have their new book, and that is Hollow by Carolyn Peckman and Susan Valenti, and they are the two authors of the Zodiac Academy series, which I will read one day. It's such a long series that it's very intimidating, but I definitely will one day. But this is the first book in a new series that isn't connected to any of their other ones, and so I feel like this is a good place to start for me. And this is the gorgeous Walmart edition. and look at them in the front. So our main character has a plan to change her fate in her life, and every 50 years there is this great hunt that is held, and so she knows that she has to enter this, which usually it's the best warriors, swordsmen, and fae that enter this, and she has none of those, but she knows that this is her one chance she has to change the fate of her life. And there's a princess also trying to stand in her way, but she will not let the hunt or the prince change the way that she must survive in this competition. And regardless of what is thrown at her, she will not let her feelings for him get in the way or any of the tricks that he plays on her. So I feel like this is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to read this and finally read from these authors because, again, for years I've been hearing about them and I need to finally read one in 2026. This next one is one from an author that I have had many of their series on my TBR, and it's about time I finally read from them as well. And their new book is called Arcana Academy by Elise Kova, and I was able to get a signed copy, which I was very, very excited about. There's her signature there, and I believe actually one of her other series is getting new covers, which is very exciting. I love when series get new covers. I'm a book collector, so I love having multiple editions, so new covers, I love it so much. The main character in this book wields magical tarot cards. She unexpectedly finds herself in a false engagement to the headmaster at the school to hide her identity from everyone else. That's honestly all I want to know about this one. I didn't want to read too much into the summary, and I've heard pretty great things about this, and especially about this author in general. I've heard her writing is amazing. Talking about all these books is making me so happy. Like, I love fantasy romance so much, and so it is my goal to read all these this year. It's my goal. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try. This next one is this author's adult debut. They have a lot of young adult fantasy books that I really do want to get to, and also they do write young adult contemporary books as well. But this one is Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer, and kind of as the title gives away, we do follow three perspectives of a warrior, a princess, and an assassin, and our three characters' paths collide in unexpected ways. So we follow two royals and one assassin who has been tasked to hunt them down, and it sounds very intense, and I'm just so excited to read this one. And on the sprayed edges here, it says, "The magic will find you when it's ready," and there's the map for this book. I feel like it's gonna be phenomenal, and I just am so excited to finally read a book from this author. This next one is To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker, and while I was putting this list together, I didn't even put two and two together that this is the author of When the Moon Hatched, which is a dragon book I want to read so badly. That one's actually over my bookshelves right there. And that one is on my list this year, just not in the video, because when I tell you it was so hard to narrow it down to 26, I mean, this is a lot of books, don't get me wrong, but narrowing it down to 26, it was impossible, honestly. So I definitely have more than this list that I want to read, but I just tried to narrow it down for the video. But this is a dark Rapunzel retelling. Our main character was the only survivor from a battle that took place years ago, and she has been kept in this castle tower, and she knows that she should not leave because there are monsters outside. And then I did want to write this down as well. It says, "Out there the monsters lurk, inside I'm safe, though at the cost far greater than the blood I drip into a goblet daily. Toxic, unreciprocated love for a man who's utterly unavailable. My savior, my protector, my almost executioner." Just so interested. I believe this is a completed trilogy, and this is the gorgeous new Waterstones edition, and there is character art in the front. And again, this author has been one I've been wanting to read for years, and so I'm excited to finally add one to the list. Then this very last one is one that I didn't write any summary for because I don't want to know anything about, because I've had this on my list for, I want to say 4 or 5 years now, and I just have never read it. And I think this year is finally the time, because I'm not sure if the series is close to being complete, but there are a lot of books out, so if I love it, I can just binge read them. And that is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I used to know a lot more about this book, but I kind of wanted to forget what I knew just so I could go into this book not knowing a whole lot. I've heard little bits here and there, and like for all these books I wrote summaries for, it's just kind of like the beginning of the synopsis, so I didn't give anything away for myself, because when I go into books, I don't like knowing a whole lot. I don't like to have any expectations. I like to experience a story just as I'm reading it. Go into the series not knowing anything, but I know there are a lot of books in this series and the spin-off, or is it a prequel series? I'm not quite sure, but nonetheless, one I'm very excited to get to, and one that is about time I should finally start. I also have a lot of other honorable mentions that I could include, but I'm not going to. But I do want to mention Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I will finally reread that series this year and get to the last book. I put it off for like 5 years now, and so I think it's about time. But that is all for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you have any ones that you'd like me to start with, or if you love any of these, I'd love to know in the comments. Or if you have any books that you really want to get to this year, I would love to know as well. So let me know down below. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.